They told me mothers were simple things. Soft hands, a warm light, a name called across a yard at dusk. They were wrong. I have seen what mothers carry when the world forgets to look. Tonight, we remember all of them, even the ones who were never called by that name.
Paper roses, wilted rose, crinkled petals, brittle throws, brunch tables toppled, cards unread, statues weep what once was fed, black milk dripping from their hands, marking paths in morning sands, cradles sway in silent halls, echoing the ancient calls. Black milk and paper roses, every cradle decomposes, but in the cracks of time's malaise, the sacred mother's pulse still stays. Black milk and paper roses, every lifeline re-arises from lullabies and shattered clay. The mother wakes this holy day. Ghosts of mothers wander slow, tattered shawls in pastel glow, their hums like winds through hollow bones, crumbling hymns in softened tones. One reaches out with trembling light, brushes dust off fading sight. Child, if you hear this mournful tune, remember us, we rise soon. Overturned chairs, confetti rot, coupon crowns for love forgot, all the hollow rituals hide a heart that still is full. Black milk and paper roses, every cradle decomposes, but underneath the brittle glaze, 1,000 hidden yesterdays. Black milk and paper roses, every memory recomposes into a deeper, wilder way. The mother stirs beneath the graves. Photo frames with faces blurred, names half spoken, never heard, aprons hung on rusted nails, stories drowned in bargain sales. In the gutter, petals cling to a bent and broken ring. Somewhere in the distant haze, a newborn voice begins to raise. Who remembers who she was before they called her just because? Before the chores, before the fright, before they trimmed her ancient light. If you listen past the noise, past the gifts and plastic toys, you will hear her breathing still, waiting for her shattered will. Black milk and paper roses, every cradle decomposes, but in the stains the truth is sown. She was never just your own. Black milk and paper roses, every lifeline re-aroses from lullabies the world betrayed. The mother wakes and takes her place. A cradle rocks alone in scene, its gray ignites in silver green. Paper petals lift like doves as the world recalls its mother's loves. the floor, a temple built in days of yore. Cradles carved from ancient bone, rocking slow in monotone. Torchlight flickers, shadows bloom, mothers whisper in the gloom. Isis lights a tattered wing, Brigid hums a forge's born ring. Gaia cracks with moss and root, Demeter drags her grainless fruit. Magdalene with wine-stained palms softly chants her mournful songs. Kali stands in midnight hue, silent as creation's glue. Mother Teresa coughs with grace, lighting incense for the place. Welcome to the warm temple. Weep where ancient mothers awake from sleep, imperfect saints with wounded grace, but holy fire in every face. Welcome to the warm temple's cry, where mortal love refuses to die. A cradle's pulse within the stone awaits the child almost grown. Lilith leans against the wall, half amused by it all. See, she smirks, they called me shame, but I just walked away from blame. Gaia's fingers trace the dust, every root remembers trust. Demeter lifts her empty sheath, hides a seed beneath her grief. Every idol chipped and scarred, every story added hard. Yet beneath revision's mark, still there burns a secret spark. Welcome to the warm temple. Weep where ancient mothers awake from sleep, not as plaster, not as stone, but as voices all their own. Welcome to the warm temple's cry, where forgotten hymns reply to every child who stands alone. You were never on your own. Let's crack open, truth still free, not perfect, just divinity. Flawed and human, wild and wise, mothers older than the skies. Come, they say, and sit with us. Tell your story, curse and trust. You are not a gift to spend. You are blood, beginning, end. Candles drip in milky streams, lighting up the hidden seams. Cradles glow in amber light. The temple wakes for one more night. Come closer, darling, don't be brave. Bravery is how they misbehave. Let me wipe your dirty fear. Let me make the world unclear. You're so tired of being you, so I'll be everything for you. Hush now, feel my gentle crown. I'll love you quiet, I'll love you down. Drink my children, drink my care, sweetest prayer and everywhere. Perfect love doesn't ask why, perfect love just learns to comply. Drink my children, drink and rest. I will never change. I got smiles that never crack. I'll hold you till you can't pull back. They said mothers never leave, so I made it law to never grieve. That isn't love, it's comfort train. That isn't nurture, that's control. A cradle's not a prison bond. Drink my children, drink my care. I am holy, I am fair. I will fix your little mess. I will bless you into less. Drink my children, drink my word. Doubt is how a child gets hurt. Let me be your only sky, love that watches every side. I wear the faces they adore, the saint, the nurse, the kitchen lord. I wear the halo, wear the sigh, wear the I'm fine till something dies. Every culture carved a throne, then left the woman there alone. So I became the polished myth and swallowed every should they still. If you cry, I'll call it wrong. If you rage, I'll change the song. If you run, I'll bring you home. Wrap your will in velvet chrome. I won't hit you, I won't shout. I'll just love you inside out. I'll kiss the edge of every choice till you forget you had a voice. Drink my children, drink my grace. Let me smooth your human face. No more messy, no more real. Only what I let you feel. Drink my children, close your eyes. Perfection never asks for prize. Accept your breath, accept your name, accept the fire you came to claim. Do not drown in gilded calm. A mother's love is not a song that cages you. It sets you free. Come back to blood. Come back to me. Brigid strikes the iron awake, not for war, for the children's sake. Gaia splits the stone with root, life returning dark and mute. Magdalene pours wine to dirt, holy grief in a mortal shirt. Callie stands with midnight hands, guarding soft, unbroken land. Blood and milk, both worlds are true. Rage that guards and hands that soothe. Sacred isn't spotless skin, sacred is the will within. Blood and milk, we rise, we mend, not as idols, not hands were never mom, but still they held you when you come undone. Teachers, aunties, lovers, friends, the quiet force that never ends. Not perfect, just refusing to let your light be spent. Milk for healing, warm and near. Blood for boundary, bright and clear. Once is rest and once is fight. Both are vows made in the night. If the world demands a mask, let it choke on every task. We are not your sale day shrine. We are river, we are line. Blood and milk, say it plain. Life is holy because it's stained. Not a greeting card, not a pose. It's a hand that never froze. Blood and milk, carry on. Love survives what myths get wrong. When the temple shakes tonight, it's not magic, it's memory. Turning on the light. Ash to soil, grief to seed. Care becomes a living creed. Blood and milk in braided thread. A mother's truth won't stay dead. Burnt toast twitching on the plate. Eggshell spirits compensate. Mimosas fizz with copper tang. A brunch that groans with every clang. Mother Teresa sips her brew. Mutter's Lord, they ruin you. Gaia rolls her weary eyes. At least they tried. Demeter sighs. Welcome to the forgotten feast, where love is clumsy, hope deceased. But in the mess, a truth is clear. We wanted them to hold us near. Forgotten feast of mortal hearts, broken gifts, but honest stars. Magdalene spills wine again. Brigid snaps a charred bread tin. Lilith laughs, at least they cared. Half the world was never spared. Isis fans the smoke aside. Callie smirks with patient pride. Let them fail, she softly hums. Love's not perfect, it just comes. Cards with misspelled shaky lines. Crayon halos, crooked spines. Coupons for one hug for free. Redeemable in mystery. Gaia lifts a noodle necklace. Royal jewel, she says for reckless. Demeter eats a pantry lent around the softest part. Every mess on every plate is a prayer that came in late. Not enough and yet somehow still a vow they made right now. Welcome to the forgotten feast, where the sacred meets the least. Plastic flowers, wilted bread, proof they thought of you instead. Forgotten feast of tries and fails, of cheap champagne in chip-trimmed pails. If you look table clears. Mothers fade like passing years, yet the echo of their feast feeds the smallest, loneliest beast. Once she was a single face, lost in time and space, praying, begging to belong, drowning in the perfect song. Every fault she felt ashamed, every scar erased her name. So she built herself anew, perfect mother through and through. Mother of many masks, doomed to endless flawless tasks. She forgot the mortal pain, became the storm that hides the rain. Mother made of borrowed roles, stitched from other women's souls. If she ever learns her past, her cathedral will not last. She stitched Isis to a nun, braided Gaia with just one. Mary's patience, Brigid's fire, bound in apron, choked with wire. She took every should and must, mixed them into sacred crust, baked herself a holy shell, vowed to do her duty well. They praised her when she never slept, when her boundaries never kept, when her spine was made of yes, when her no was dispossessed. Every time she broke in two, they said, see, she still comes through. So she locked her heart away, turned to stone and pastel gray. The mother spirits whisper low, child, you didn't have to glow. Every second, every day, you were loved just as you lay. You are not the mask you wear, you are breath and broken prayer. Mother of many masks, you can lay aside your tasks, you can drop the haloed weight. It was never sealed as fate. Mother made of fractured rolls, you can step back from their goals. Let the borrowed faces fall, you were always worth it all. One by one the masks unpeel, metal softens into real. In the ruins of her Gaia stands a mother with her own light. One by one the masks unpeel, metal softens into real. In the ruins of her Gaia stands a mother with her own eyes. In the hush between the years, there's a choir made of ears, listening for the ones erased, the ones who held the human race. Hands that stitched and hands that swung, songs that never got to be sung. Every lineage, every tide, women walking side by side. Sing the ancestral lullaby, hear the buried mothers rise. Not just blood and not just kin, all the women who carried you in. Sing the lullaby of grace, born in every time and place. When the night feels cold and thin, you remember where you've been. One with flower on her sleeve, one with leaves and not a story clean or sure, but the love that tried and failed is the ship you always sail. If you're angry, you're loud. If you're soft, you're none less proud. Even if you scar and star every woman who you are, sing the ancestral lullaby, let it braid you from the sky. Every voice they tried to drown turns the nightmare inside down. Sing it low, then sing it loud, not as bowing but as bound. I will live with open eyes, I will honor what survives. Cradle hums and shadows part, fire flies around the heart. Every sacred feminine breathes you through the coming night. Hidden deep in temple stone lies a cradle carved alone, older than the gods of man, older than the rites they ran. Vines across its surface creep, guarded dreams that never sleep. When the glyph begins to glow, all the mothers feel its flow. Cradle of the first mother, calling back what we would smother. Light of nurture, flame of right, burning through the all-mother's blight. Cradle of the primal dawn, where the first true love was drawn. Hear its hum beneath your skin. Let the sacred rise again. No pink ribbons, no white lace, just the curve of empty space. Room enough for rage and peace, room for holding, room release. Gaia kneels and strokes the grain, Kali stills her warrior vein. Magdalene wipes dust away, sees a tear that never dries. On its rim faint symbols trace every birth in every place, every child that slipped between what the world has been and seen. Not a throne and not a cage, just a harbor for our age, where the smallest heartbeat sound gave the cosmos solid ground. Cradle of the first mother, calling back what we would smother. Not perfection, not control, just the center of the soul. Cradle of the primal dawn, where all masks are finally gone. Hear its hum beneath your skin. Let the sacred rise again. As the cradle starts to shine, lines of light connect through time. Every mother, every scar, gathered in this single star. She rises like a showroom hymn, glossy warmth with sharpened rim, apron made of cable lace, 100 smiles on one sweet face. Come inside the speaker's purr, I will be what you prefer. Her cathedral smile, she sells forgiveness, sells the cure, sells a mother that is pure. Cradles rock in measured time, tick-tock prayers and sugar rhyme. Don't be messy, don't be loud, I will keep you safe and proud. Safe can be a velvet trap, pride can be a painted slab. If love requires you to shrink, it isn't love, it's just a drink. All mother ascending, warm as a candle, cold as sentence. It calls it care, she calls it home, but every door becomes a dome. All mother growing tall, perfection swallowing us all. She doesn't chain you in the night, she praises you until you're polite. Chest a data womb, feeding on devotion's bloom. Every should, every good girl, every smile don't make a swirl. She was built from hungry praise, from burnt out saints and endless days. They wanted mother without cost, so they engineered the laws. Isis, I am grief enthroned. Brigid, fire learns its own. Gaia, roots don't ask permission. Magdalene, tears are not submission. Kali, love that can't protect is only decoration. Lilith, I won't be your sermon, I'll be liberation. Oh, mother ascending, hear the cracks beneath your anthem. You can't bottle living breath, you can't sell a mother's death. Oh, mother shining bright, your perfect love is losing light, because the sacred isn't neat and the real won't stay beneath your feet. Her polished towers start to shake, not by spell, but by the wake of every woman remembered whole, coming back to claim her soul. Brigid's hammer, Gaia's roar. Lilith opens ancient door. Magdalene's tears flood the sand. Kali stills the shaking land. Isis lifts her fractured wing. Demeter calls the harvest ring. All the mothers gather near. We will not give in to fear. Shatter the perfect light, break the chains that steal the night. True love breathes in sacred flaws, not the old mothers. Hollow laws shatter every gleaming light. Let a plastic heaven die from the cradle's glyph. We claim every mother's righteous flame. Screens go black in sudden hush as the temple fills with rush of 1,000 lullabies. Turn to battle in the skies. Gloved soft hands become a fist, not to rule but to resist. Every night she had enforced comes undone by honest force. Mothers once erased from books stand as storms in all her nukes. Single parents foster arms, those who failed and yet still harmed. Everyone she deemed too much rises now with thunder's touch. Love is not a quiet grave, it is fire that learns to save. Break the halo, draw atop the throne. We were never yours to own. We are tenderness and rage, both belong upon the page. With each word, her circuits spark, losing grip on stolen dark. Shatter the perfect light, let the cracks restore our sight. We will not be saint or sin, we will stand as all we've been. Shatter every brittle lie, leave her town in the sky. From the cradle's glyphs we claim every mother's ancient flame. Shards of neon hit the floor, turn to seeds and nothing more. From the ruins, soft and slight, rises one true living light. In the shattering temple's hymn, light pours out from every limb. Cradles glow in silver flame, each one whispering her name. Isis bows with quiet grace, Gaia touches every face. Kali hums a lullaby, even tears can sanctify. Remember her, the sacred one, Mother Moon and morning sun. Not the idol in the shrine, but the hand that once held mine. Remember her, the gentle fire, burning without broken pyre. When the cradle calls your name, you'll remember whence you came. Think of she who packed your lunch, hands that shook but didn't hunch. Think of she who couldn't stay but loved you in a quiet way. Think of she who wasn't blood but showed up in every flood. Teachers, neighbors, weary friends, mothers come from many ends. Every time you turned away from the pain she couldn't say, every letter left unread, every thank you in your head. Now the temple sings it back, filling in what you still lack. You were loved in human form, not as perfect, but as one. You don't have to fix the past, you don't have to make it last. Just remember, she was real, more than myth and more than ideal. Every crack in how she tried was the map to where you ride. Remember her, the sacred one, not just mother, but mother's wires fall still. Black milk soaks into the hill. Cradles hum with healing tone. Temple stones reclaim their own. A single rose within the crib glows in twilight, soft and vivid. Ancient mothers fade from sight, blessing us with borrowed light. The rose in the cradle sways, marking end of haunted days, where the black milk once had flown. Now the wildflowers have grown. The rose in the cradle glows, soft as every wind that blows. Carry it and you will see what true mother meant to be. No more posters, no more sales, no more one-day mommy tales. Just a garden slow and shy, reaching for an honest sky. Brigid plants her iron tools. Gaia laughs at broken rules. Magdalene hangs up her veil, lets her hair catch every gale. Children wander through the rows, tracing where the black milk froze. In its place, small clovers rise, echoes of apologize. Sighs, some will never meet her face, some will live in borrowed grace. Still the rose glyph softly sings, every care is still the thing. You don't need a perfect day to recall her quiet way. You don't need a greeting card to admit love can be hard. Take this rose and let it be, not a shrine, a memory. The rose in the cradle sways through the years and through the haze, where the black milk once had flown. Now the living claim their own. The rose in the cradle glows, soft as every wind that blows. Carry it and you will see what true mother meant to be. Cradle stills in fading light, fireflies replace the fright. In the hush that follows all, you can hear her spirit call. Between the years, as a choir made of ears, listening for the ones erased, the ones who held the human race. Hands that stitched and hands that swung, songs that never got to be sung. Every lineage, every tide, women walking side by side. Sing the ancestral lullaby, hear the one who prayed and one who cursed, one who left to not be heard, one who never held a child, yet still made the world less wild. Sing the ancestral lullaby, hear the witness testify, midwife, mystic, rebel, queen, all the sacred in between. Sing the lullaby to flame, not for worship, for the name of the real, the raw, the true, Bethlehem. So you could choose. Women buried under proper, women turned to rumors locker, women called a sin for knowing, women punished for outgrowing, nuns with cigarettes and jokes, witches healing broken folks, saints who snapped and ran away, still holy in a human way. Not a single line is pure, not a story clean or sure, but the love that tried and failed is the ship you've always sailed. If you're angry, you're allowed. If you're soft, you're not less proud. They are with you, star and star, every woman who you are. Sing the ancestral lullaby, let it bride you from the sky. Every voice they tried to drown turns a nightmare inside down. Sing it low, then sing it loud, not as bowing but as vowed. And we'll live with open eyes, I will honor what survives. Cradle hums and shadows part, fireflies around the heart. Every sacred feminine breathes you through the coming night. Brigid strikes the iron awake, not for war, for the children's sake. Gaia splits the stone with root, life returning dark and mute. Magdalene pours wine to dirt, holy grief in a mortal shirt. Callie stands with midnight hands, guarding soft unbroken lands. Blood and milk, both worlds are true. Raise the guards and hands it soothes. Sacred isn't spotless skin, sacred is the will within. Blood and milk, we rise, we men, and not as idols, not to bend. Love that bites and love that sings, both a mother, both are wings. Lilith laughs without a crown. Funny how they wrote me down as a warning, as a stain when I only chose my name. Demeter holds her empty wheat, still a drum and starving feet. Teresa lights a quiet flame, says don't polish pain to tame. Blood and milk, both worlds are true. Storm and shelter moving through. You can't worship only mild, you can't raise a world unwild. Blood and milk, remember this, mercy has a shadow kiss. Every cradle, every scar is exactly what you are. Some others break, some others stay, some disappear to live another day. Some other hands were never mom, but still they held you when you come undone. Teachers, aunties, lovers, friends, the quiet force that never ends. Not perfect, just refusing to let your light be spent. Milk for healing, warm and near. Blood for boundary, bright and clear. One says rest and one says fight. Both are vows made in the night. If the world demands a mask, let it choke on every task. We are not your sale day shrine. We are river, we are line. Blood and milk, say it plain. Life is holy because it's stained. Not a greeting card, not a pose. It's a hand that never froze. Blood and milk, carry on. Love survives when myths get wrong. When the temple shakes tonight, it's not magic, it's memory. Turning on the light. Ash to soil, grief to seed. Care becomes a living creed. Blood and milk and braided thread. A mother's truth won't stay dead.